Hi everyone. At these times, we're spending a lot of time at home, and at Merantix Labs, we thought that maybe we could create a few videos about artificial intelligence and its applications. Today, I'll be talking to Nicole, our CEO, about AI and how it's developed into what it is today. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Johana.
So we've been hearing a lot about artificial intelligence for quite a while, and very often we hear from movies, books, science fiction. But I think in the past decade, we've also put a lot more importance on AI in businesses. So can you explain a bit more what artificial intelligence is and what it's not?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, it's not something very new. It's been a dream of researchers since the 50s. We've been hearing about it recently because of recent developments in computing power and in data availability, but the actual concept is quite old. Secondly, it's a really badly defined term. Already when you talk just about the term intelligence, it's kind of hard to define. How do we say somebody's intelligent? So I think in this context, I feel much more comfortable talking about something like machine learning or deep learning. And that brings me to the third point. How is machine learning or deep learning different from traditional programming, where you hard code certain rules? Machine and deep learning tries to infer these patterns from large data sets, right? Patterns, behaviors, and principles, and thereby find answers to really complex questions.
So when you're talking about complex problems and complex behaviors, what do you mean by that?
I think there are actually two applications that really illustrate the point well. One is computer vision, which is quite a standard machine learning or deep learning technique. When you think about hard coding a rule, right, recognizing my face, for example, to actually define all the rules that you need to define to recognize my face from your face would be super cumbersome. On the contrast, what machine learning does is you give it a large data set of labeled inputs. So basically pictures of me and you put Johana and Nicole on those labels. And then the algorithm, the model, infers the rules, how to discriminate, for example, between you and my face. A second field would be, for example, language, right? So to learn the meaning of complex texts, it's also quite a hard problem. And also something that you struggle with rule-based approach. So a rules-based approach can allow you to search a PDF for the word farm. But if you want to sort of find out if is a certain concept represented in a text, then machine and deep learning techniques are really useful.
So in real world, for example, when you have different types of businesses, how can they actually leverage this technology and make their businesses more efficient and smooth?
This goes right to the question, in which settings can machine learning really add a lot of value? One first indicator, right, as I said, is like data. Are there processes where you actually have data? But mainly processes where there is a high level of repetition and where humans get easily bored, or it's dangerous for humans, or humans maybe tend to make errors. Think about visual quality control in production, right? A lot of this is done now by visual inspection, by people, but it's quite a repetitive task. There is an issue of scaling, of avoiding errors, but also of standardizing certain quality aspects.
You were also saying that AI is used in a lot of text analysis and analytics. Can you give some more examples about that?
Yeah, sure. So there are a lot of settings where you're also looking at large volumes of text. Imagine, for example, you're a company and you're trying to find out if a certain regulation is relevant for you or not. You can see a text being 150 pages long, and what you are trying to identify maybe sections that are relevant for you. This is a great example of how AI can assist a human at a task, basically identifying relevant passages, which then the human can still analyze. It saves a lot of time.
So a lot of people are actually quite skeptical about artificial intelligence and its applications. What do you think about that?
Yes, for sure. It's a technology, and the value of the technology is defined by the people building it. A lot of people are worried that a lot of jobs will be lost. I think, automating a certain task is not automating a whole job. Just because I don't have to read the whole document anymore doesn't mean that I don't have to analyze it and still take a decision based on that. Secondly, I would say, it's never too early to get your feet wet with it. It's a field where you have to experiment a bit, and where it's important that you create a culture of experimentation where your employees can sort of learn about the concept and twist them and adopt them to your business setting and see how can the technology really help your business thrive in future. And number three, there are also some issues that we have to resolve as tech makers and as tech adopters about ethics. So yes, there are some issues around bias, and we have to be aware of that, and we have to make sure that we get that right.
Okay, that was really interesting, Nicole. Thank you so much for talking to me about AI.
Thank you. I mean, there's lots of time on our hands now in these troubled times. So, I'd be curious to hear what questions people have and which topics they're interested in.
Yes, exactly. So if any of you have any insights, questions, or input, please comment on this post. Let us know. Send us a message.
Stay healthy, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.